Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to make a personal appointment and what is the functionality of a personal appointment. Just to refresh your memory, a personal appointment is these grey boxes here. Okay. Now what I've done for this particular trainer here is that I've used personal appointments to break out their lunch breaks and any other breaks in between, as well as, for example, if you've got a trainer who works at multiple sites, in order for us to understand where they are going to be on a particular day, we will always start the day with which gym or center or practice they're going to be at. So it drops it all the way through across, and it's a good reminder for us. So when we're booking clients in who says, I want to see, trainer 1 on Crown Street, we'll say, look, he's available on Tuesday, and because we know that on Monday he's on Bond Street. So it avoids confusion for trainers with multiple locations, etc., on particular days given in the week. And we use personal appointments to make lunch breaks and any other breaks they might want to have in between their rosters or their daily schedule. Now, the reason why we do this is because, first of all, you have to remember that these trainers will not have access to your setup menu. And so if you got a trainer who, for example, say, best case scenario, you got a trainer who's got a very strict roster that doesn't change at all. For those sort of trainers, which is quite rare because we know how busy, practitioners are and trainers are, so their schedules may change on a weekly or monthly basis, and it's very hard for us to lock that in at all times, and if things do change, it's hard to control. So, but let's assume that this trainer is going to be very, very rigid, very disciplined, so we can actually afford to, when we set up their roster, create that an hour break in there, and there'll be a grey area where our operators won't touch. You can do it that way. However, if you want to give the trainers the ability and to have the flexibility to determine when they're working and when they're not working, then you need to teach them how to use these personal bookings, because these trainers won't have any access to setup menu. They can't change their rosters. Now, why do we do this? It's simply because in the grey area here, our operators don't book that in. It's only in the yellow areas where we place bookings as such. So if they have a lunch break, they need to put something in there, like a booking in there manually, so that we don't have to book it in. We won't overbook it or such. And the thing is, if they actually use a client appointment, it's not a really good thing. It's not a good idea to use, because whatever they type in there, that actually will be registered as a client and will be written into your CRM system, and that will come out in your reportings. So that's just a waste of, that's a waste of one extra item that you don't want to see. So if they're going to have lunch breaks, simple as that. Just click in the lunch breaks here and make it a personal appointment. Just put in lunch break or break if you want. Go down to that and just click and drag. Go to the edge of it and click and drag down until you like what you see. I like this 1 hour break very much. Who doesn't? Set it to reoccurring. We'll make a repeat save for 4 weeks. So that plus that is 4. Save it. Done. And then what that will do is, say for example, like next week, the trainer, something happened, they got to move their break around a bit, so they can just click and drag that up there, and don't have to go into the whole system and undo it again. So it's for simplicity, really. And as such, on the top, we will create individual ones to tell us where your locations are. Okay, so that is what a personal appointment does, functionality-wise.